Hey there, y'all. Grrr Records just reissued Rezband's 1988 album Silent Screams on a new CD edition, and they also put out a t-shirt of the cover art to go along with it. We'll take a look at both coming right up. Stay where you are. Hey there, y'all. Welcome back to another Tim Talks Christian Rock. Tim Risto here. Hope you're having a great day, and may God bless your day going forward from here. Well, Grrr Records reissued their 1988 Rezband album, Silent Screams, on CD. Just got my copy yesterday, along with the t-shirt that kind of accompanies it, I guess you could say, that's of the album artwork. Thought we'd take a quick look at all of that. Just by way of reference here, looking on the Grrr Records website, in the description here for the CD, which only goes for $13.95, by the way. It's a great deal, plus shipping, of course, but it's a great, great deal. It says here in their description, originally released in 1988, reissued in 2025 with new artwork, complete with lyrics and archival photos. 14 by 14 poster with live concert photos from the 80s. So it doesn't say anything about being remastered. So it doesn't appear that this reissue is remastered. But kind of like their reissue of Between Heaven and Hell a few years ago, it's just kind of a neat version with some interesting added photos and a reissue that puts it back in circulation again. Some of these Rezband albums are hard to find. Silent Screams is one of them. You can find CD copies, but it may be a little tougher than other albums in their discography. The vinyl is a little tougher to find. Again, you can find it, but it might be a little pricier. Really wish they'd reissue this on vinyl. But anyway, nice to put it back into circulation in just a slightly revamped version. So let's take a look at this here. Here's the album art, which very much looks in keeping with past versions of it. Here is the interior. I'll show you more on the booklet and fold-out poster in a minute. Disc art is pretty cool, having the album art on there. I do like this album art a lot. This looks like it includes some revamped stuff or some additional stuff that may have been from the back cover art. I'll have to look again in a second. But nicely printed design there. And the tray, if you can see here, if I can get reflections off of it, you can see there's a bunch of photos and then there's some liner notes material in there talking about like the title of the album, where that comes from, and then some credits and things like that there. But the tray has a lot of neat photos in it there as well. Then, if we go to the booklet / fold-out poster. Oh, and by the way, here's the back of the CD as well. Booklet folds out first of all like this, and you have You Got Me Rockin' with the lyrics there. And then what's cool here is they have a lot of the multiple photos from the photo session made to look like the negatives of the photo session, which they also did, I think, on Between Heaven and Hell, which I thought was a really neat effect. But then you keep folding it out and you get lots of great photos. I've never seen most of these before. And if you keep folding it out, you've got, again, a poster of all the song titles with lyrics, and then again, lots of interesting photos accompanying a number of these, probably from alternate pics from the photo sessions. And then flip it over, and you've got this big 14 by 14 poster with lots of great photos from that time period. Assumedly, most of these are from the Silent Screams era or, before. But great little thing. I'm tempted almost to pick up a second copy of this so that I can keep a copy on the shelf, but then have one of these I can unfold and actually frame the poster, because I think this is actually really, really pretty cool. Nice touch by Grrr Records, and I appreciate them offering something a little different when they reissue their album. So there you go. There's a quick look at the CD itself for Silent Screams, the 2024/2025 reissue. It's actually copyrighted on the disc, I think, 2024, but really I don't think it's been made available here till 2025. So pick which year you want to claim that it actually came out in. But anyway, kind of nice again just to have it available in a new edition. I like it. Again, $13.95 plus shipping. It's very inexpensive. Good way to support the band and the Grrr Records label when they reissue albums like this. And this is a good album. This is a great album. This was kind of their, I don't really want to call it their comeback album, but they kind of took a hiatus, I guess you could say. I don't know if it was official or unofficial, or they were just regrouping after Jim Denton left the band at the end of Between Heaven and Hell. And I think there was about a 4-year gap, roughly, 3 to 4 year gap between that album and the release of this one. And they came back with this one with Roy Montroy, who, of course, really had been kind of part of the band for a long time. He took over Jim Denton's place as bass player, and, they put some great stuff out in this kind of second version or second era of the band, starting with Silent Screams. They became much more harder rocked, harder edged, more aggressive sounding. And it's really a great start here with Silent Screams going forward. Of course, the one that followed this, Innocent Blood, is arguably the most popular album of the second era of Rez, but Silent Screams put them off to a really great start. I still remember seeing this album, oh gosh, it was back, must have been 88 or 89, when I saw this album on vinyl sitting in a record store, Tower Record Store in Austin, Texas, while I was in college. And I remember thinking then, Rez is back, because I hadn't seen anything from them in a long time. So, good album, really good hard rock album. Love the cover art, love the music. At the same time, Grrr Records also offered a t-shirt featuring the cover art from Silent Screams as well, too. So I went ahead and picked that up. These, I think, are $25, I want to say, if I remember correctly. Of course, plus shipping. But it's actually really sturdy material. I'm not sure what it is here. Is it ultra cotton? So it's very sturdy. Printing is really nice. It's a little heavier. It's got a little weight to it, both to the shirt and to the printing. But it's pretty cool. And I didn't have any Rez Band shirts. I know they'd put out a shirt for Innocent Blood as well, and I didn't get that one. I think they might be sold out on that one right now, at least in my size. So I thought I am going to pick up Silent Scream. So nice to have this one. In fact, I think before I continue on, I'll go ahead and put this one on for the rest of the video. All right, there we go. I'm dressed appropriately for a video about Rez Band. So just for comparison, let's look back, because I do have the original Silent Scream CD as well from 1988. That's on Ocean and Grrr Records. So let's go ahead and just take a look at that by comparison. Disc printing, of course, is much more simpler, as it tended to be back in the day. There's no photo in the tray, of course. It's just a simple gray plastic tray, not a see-through one. I don't know if you care to see it, but there's the quote-unquote disc printing. Booklet, of course, is also just much simpler. This is a fold-out, so it's like a quad fold, I guess, or I guess that's what you call it, a quad fold. So it folds in half, folds out. You see some of the album art on the background in black and white, with some of the liner notes, thank yous, and of course the band members listed, and then lyrics here on the inside, side 1, side 2. Even though it's on CD, it's all on one side, but they kind of follow the album, the LP, vinyl album listing there. So there's that, the photo of the band that was on the back of the booklet there, which is also pictured on the back of the CD itself. So much more simpler, the original one. I have not listened to the new one yet, so I can't compare the audio quality. Again, it's not been remastered on the new one, so I don't know how it compares to the original one, but I will be listening to those tonight. Maybe I can update y'all in a future video how they sound or how they compare sound-wise. But I always thought the original sounded just fine, so I'm not real bent out of shape about not having a remastered one. But, you know, anytime they reissue something, it's like, yeah, what's the purpose for doing it? Why reissue it? But again, I think what Res did with this reissue as far as the print stuff on it makes it well worth the $13.95 cost, well worth the upgrade. In addition, also just to look back, I do have the original vinyl release of Silent Screams 2, which is actually really nice. I got this at a very good price, I don't know, within the last year or two. This was the second to last Res album to be released on vinyl. Probably the last one really widely available in the United States. Following this one was, as I mentioned, Innocent Blood. That one was reissued on vinyl, but I think it was a UK-only release. Or if it did have any kind of U.S. distribution, it was extremely limited. So that one's tough to find on vinyl. It goes for quite a pretty penny if you find one listed on Discogs or eBay. But this one you can find pretty easily now, maybe a little bit more, a little bit prettier penny than you may be willing to spend, depending upon what it's worth to you. But I got this one at a very good price and was happy to add it to the collection. Here's the inner sleeve with the lyrics on side 1 and side 2. And the vinyl itself, of course, is just a simple black vinyl release with track listing, title, Ocean Records logo, side 1 and side 2. So there you go. There are the different releases that I own anyway of Silent Screams, the original vinyl, the original CD, and now the latest reissue of the album from Grrr Records here on CD. It was also released originally on cassette too back in the day. I do not have a copy of it on cassette, but as far as I know, that would be the only other medium format and issue or reissue, or original issue, I guess in that case, that the album has been released on. If you know of others, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But this is a good album. I do like it a lot. I'm glad to have a t-shirt as well to sport. I think it's got a great sound to it. I like the way that they elevated their music to a more aggressive sound going into this, as I call it, the second era of Res Band back in '88. And they kind of carried that through pretty much to the end of their career, ending with Lament. Well, technically ending with Appendectomy, I guess. But Lament was their last, album of original material, and then Appendectomy was re-recording, acoustic kind of recording of former songs and tracks. But anyway, I think this was the beginning of the second phase of Res that was really entered into their much more aggressive sound, and I loved it. That was really, really a great album. Anyway, what do you all think of Silent Screams? And if you've picked up this new CD, what do you think of the reissue? Are you a big fan of wanting to only pick them up if it's a remastered? Are you a big fan of Res in general? Let me know in the comments down below. I don't know if we'll see another reissue of this, similar to what happened with Between Heaven and Hell a few years ago. Again, Grrr had reissued that. Just in a kind of straightforward edition again with some additional print material, but it was not remastered. Then about, roughly a year after that, I think it was Retroactive or Girder reissued it as well in a remastered edition. So I haven't heard any word, so I don't know if that's going to happen in this case as well, if we'll see Silent Screams from Girder in a reissued, remastered version or not. But again, I'd really love to see Silent Screams reissued and a nice remastered vinyl, as well as Innocent Blood, since that one's so hard to find on vinyl. From what I've heard, Grrr is not big on putting their albums out or reissuing them on vinyl, or in the case of these albums that have not been widely distributed on vinyl, just reissuing them in American releases. But anyway, who knows what will happen yet. I'll keep my ear to the ground, see if I hear anything. But I'm happy to have it. I think it's a nice CD reissue. Glad to have the T-shirt. And hey, with Rez, we just can't go wrong with any of their albums. All great stuff. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll just want to give you a quick peek at those, the album, the CD, and the T-shirt. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, y'all go out, listen to some great Christian rock, make it some Rez today from Silent Screams. Pick up the T-shirt if you get a chance. It's really nice. Otherwise, above all else, remember, stay in God's Word. Blessings, y'all. Take care. Have a good one.